B dot star D. You're doing this is the vector dot product, which is probably why they use the dot. They use the period. Vector dot product. Oops, I'm wrong. That is not correct. A dot product would just be a single number. This would be the dot product. There we go. This is if you want to take element 1 of B and multiply by element 1 of D, and then get a list. Element 2 of D times element 2 of B, and so forth. One example might be getting a list of squares of numbers. Here's another way to create a vector. Let's create the E vector. The colon operator. I'm going to create a vector between 1 and 10. Bracket. So this is just going to give me a count of the numbers 1 through 10. Sure. Instead of 10, you could have 8 or something like that. You can count by twos also. I'll show that in just a second. Now, this will give me, if I do E dot star E, I'm just going to get a list of the squares from 1 to 10. There we go. And I think you can add up all the elements in a vector. The vector is in the answer, so this is the sum of the squares of 1 through 10. Sum is a function. There's lots of functions. Click here. You can get functions, language fundamentals, entering commands, answer, clear command window, diary, all sorts of different functions. Are you?
I just couldn't make out what you meant.
Okay. Here's matrices and array, and so forth. So this little fx down here, function help. Okay. Let's go ahead and close it. Let's go back. Let's close it down. You can get help here in the question mark. You can click this little thing down here. You can get a drop-down measure menu, and so forth. Clear command window, lots of ways to do things. That's probably why Matlab is so popular, is because, I forgot how to do it. Well, you can do it another way. There's lots of ways to get to where you need to go. The dot, element by element. The regular is a matrix multiplier. So, okay, let's go to A and C again. We did A dot star C, and we can see how that works. The regular multiplier, that's a matrix multiplier. So 19 is the dot product of 1, 3 times 5, 7. So this here is a dot product of the first row of A, here's A, first row of A dotted into the first column of C. That's how matrix multiplication works. So it's 5 plus 14 or 19. The next number is the first column 1 of C, second row of A. So it's 5 times 3 plus 7 times 4, which is 43. The upper right, now we're going to the second column of C. First row of A, second column of C. So C is, so it'd be 6 times 1 plus 8 times 2, which is 22. And then the last one is second row A, second column C. 6 6 times 3 plus 8 times 4, which is 50. You can get a limited range of C values. So, for example, you can go C, I want only the first column. I want all the rows. There's a colon operator in another way, used in another way. All the rows and just the first column. So this selects a piece of C. It'll select the 5 and the 7. Let's multiply that times A times. So it takes the vector, the column vector, 5, 7, it's A times that column vector 5, 7. There we go. So it just gives me the first column of this. Okay. You will probably have many more questions about that in the future. Let's do... See, I'm trying to think. Okay, that's enough for matrices right now. Let's go on to plotting, some of the plotting stuff. First, I need to create X and Y vectors. Bracket. 0. You can step by, I'm going to step by 5. I want to step by 5 degrees, and I want to get to 360. Do I want to even, 5 degrees. 5 degrees is reasonable. So that will create 72 data points. So it goes 0, step, last. So the colon allows you to make a vector with a range in it. And it's going to give me a little bit of output. And if I go up here, it doesn't, so far you see the actual values of stuff. Finally, here you get, there's too many values. It's not just going to list all the values in the workspace window. It's going to tell you what kind of matrix it is. 1 row, 73 columns. Y, oops, let's go back to here. By the way, you'll notice I went to the workspace window, I selected this, and now if I go Y, I can't get to Y. I'm typing Y all the time, I can't get there. I got to select the command window again. And then I can do Y equals sine in degrees of X. And then I can do plot, X comma Y. So this is just plot the sine versus degrees. A figure window comes up. There it is. We can do a few things with this. One of the few of the most useful are to put labels on the axes. X label. So we're going to string. str means string. The apostrophe is used to create a string again. Okay. Angle. Oops. And capital A and GLE in degrees. So it's telling people that your plot is does angle in degrees. And if I go back to the plot window, there are 2 different windows now. The regular window and a figure window. The X label shows up there. Y label of sine. Why is it? Oh, I know why. And I can go back to the figure window. Now it's got a label. Title. That's another good one. These are kind of the big 3. I'll just leave it like that. Plot of the trigonometric functions. And it'll now have a title on it. You can format this. You can. This will let you select stuff. So you can change things. You can format it. View property editor. You can do all sorts of things. Font, background, line width, how big the font is, all sorts of things like that. So this will select the plot area. This will select the axes. Oops. Oh no, there's the axes. There's x-axis. Here's y-axis, z-axis. I can select all the data. Anyway, so you can edit to your heart's content, and right now I'm just trying to get the basics down to you. So I'm not going to go into all this editing stuff. Yeah, exactly. It's resized now. It's a different size. Okay, so you can also, the exercises you're going to go through will help you to understand some of the other commands. Yeah.